The initial classification was natural. A second examination produced a different conclusion. The cause of death was listed as natural after an initial medical examiner's review of the deceased, but subsequent forensic analysis revealed critical anomalies that led to a reclassification of the manner of death. This case centered around the unexpected discovery of an incidental smoke detector near the scene, which played a pivotal role in uncovering the true circumstances surrounding the deceased's demise. The incident occurred on the evening of October 12th in a residential neighborhood of suburban Chicago. Around 10:45 p.m., a neighbor reported smoke emanating from the deceased's single-story house. Upon arrival, firefighters found the front door ajar and smoke billowing out. Inside, the living room and kitchen were engulfed in a thick haze, but the flames were contained to a small area near the stove. The deceased was discovered in the bedroom, lying on the bed, seemingly unharmed by the fire. Initial responders assumed the cause was accidental, possibly from a cooking mishap, and the medical examiner classified the death as natural, citing the absence of visible injuries and the lack of significant fire damage to the bedroom. The initial findings were consistent with a fire of limited scope and intensity, with no signs of forced entry or struggle. The body of the deceased was found supine on the bed, showing no visible signs of trauma or burns. There was no soot in the bedroom, and the windows and doors were closed, suggesting that the fire had not directly impacted the room where the body was found. The initial manner of death was listed as natural, and the presence of carbon monoxide in the house was ruled out due to the absence of smoke in the bedroom. However, the medical examiner's office noted the presence of an unusual object near the front door, an operational smoke detector that had been installed, but not connected to the house's electrical system. This incidental detail was not immediately deemed significant. The forensic investigation began with a meticulous collection of evidence. Physical evidence recovered from the scene included a partially melted kitchen appliance, charred debris from the stove, and a disconnected smoke detector. The collection process was overseen by a specialized unit, and the items were carefully packaged and labeled for laboratory analysis. Notably, the smoke detector was found to be operational but disconnected, raising questions about its potential role in the sequence of events. The absence of soot in the bedroom and the presence of a functioning smoke detector that was not integrated into the home's electrical system were key observations that warranted further investigation. Laboratory analysis included a comprehensive toxicology screen and a detailed inspection of the smoke detector. Toxicological tests were conducted to determine if the deceased had ingested any substances that might have caused unconsciousness, and panels for drugs, alcohol, and environmental toxins were run. The detection threshold for each substance was set to 0.01 mg/L, and no significant concentrations were found. The histological examination of tissue samples from the deceased revealed no signs of acute poisoning or intoxication. The smoke detector was sent to a specialized laboratory where it was tested for functionality and battery life. The results confirmed that the detector was indeed operational at the time of the fire, but its battery was not connected to the home's electrical system, meaning it could not have alerted anyone of the impending danger. This finding was crucial in understanding the circumstances of the fire. The timeline reconstruction was based on the forensic evidence collected. The postmortem interval was estimated to be approximately 4-6 hours, based on the degree of rigor mortis and livor mortis observed. The physical evidence, including the disconnected smoke detector and the limited extent of the fire, indicated that the fire had started in the kitchen and had been contained due to the absence of a direct entry into the bedroom. The smoke detector's failure to activate, despite being operational, suggested that the fire had been contained by the closed bedroom door, preventing the smoke from reaching the bedroom and triggering the alert. The timeline confirmed that the fire had begun some time before the initial discovery, and the disconnected smoke detector provided a critical clue to the sequence of events. Expert testimony was sought to interpret the forensic findings. The expert opined that the disconnected smoke detector was a key piece of evidence in reclassifying the manner of death. The absence of any other indicators of foul play, such as trauma or forced entry, combined with the operational smoke detector that was not connected, suggested that the fire was intentionally set to create a smoke screen for the deceased's death. The expert would testify that while there was no direct evidence of murder, the circumstantial evidence strongly suggested that the fire was deliberately set to obscure the true cause of death. The expert's opinion was based on the combined evidence of the disconnected smoke detector, the limited extent of the fire, and the absence of signs of struggle or trauma. The resolution of the case was a reclassification of the manner of death from natural to undetermined, pending further investigation. The initial assumption of accidental fire was replaced by a more nuanced interpretation that the fire was intentionally set to conceal the true cause of death. The disconnected smoke detector played a pivotal role in uncovering this discrepancy. The evidence proved that the fire was a deliberate act, but the lack of clear forensic evidence of foul play left the case unresolved. The absence of any direct evidence of murder, combined with the circumstantial evidence, left the manner of death undetermined, pending further investigation. The file remains open. This case underscores the importance of meticulous forensic investigation and the role of seemingly incidental details, such as the disconnected smoke detector, in unraveling complex circumstances. The forensic methodology employed in this case highlights the need for a thorough and detailed approach to evidence collection and analysis, even in scenarios initially deemed straightforward.